स्टडी IQ IAS, अब तैयारी हुई अफोर्डेबल।
Welcome to StudyIQ's initiative, the podcast. I am your host, Dipanj Moorjani. So tighten your belts because it is time for the podcast of the day. In the last episode of the podcast, our discussion was all about powers, roles, and responsibilities of our president. In this episode, we will discuss all the precedents till date. Sir, can you please enlighten us on some basic information about our first president, Dr. Rajendra Prasad?
Before we start, I want to tell you something that this is not an advertisement. However, it is a global vision of StudyIQ to provide most affordable and effective education. In our prelims to interview program, that is P2I program, you will be accompanied by the best faculties of the field, and you will also receive the one-to-one mentorship in this program. Moreover, you will receive prelims as well as mains test series according to UPSC syllabus. So, for huge discount, you can use my code AVLIVE. All the links are pinned in the comment section.
In this series, our first president we will discuss is Dr. Rajendra Prasad. His term for serving was from 1950 to 1962. Dr. Rajendra Prasad was the first president of India, and he is the only one so far to be re-elected as President of India twice. From the early times, Dr. Rajendra Prasad was also a comrade of Mahatma Gandhi early in the non-cooperation movement for independence and was president of the Indian National Congress for the years 1934, 1939 and 1947. Dr. Rajendra Prasad practiced at the Calcutta High Court in 1916 and later he transferred to the Patna High Court, and in meantime he founded the Bihar Law Weekly. In 1917, he was recruited by Gandhi to help a campaign to improve conditions for peasants which were exploited by British indigo planters in Bihar. Dr. Rajendra Prasad also founded and edited the Hindi weekly Desh and started his lifelong campaign to establish Hindi as the national language. He was also the president of Constituent Assembly and chief leader of Indian independence movement. He was awarded Bharat Ratna in 1962. The second president is Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan is the second president of India. He served as a professor of philosophy at Mysore and Calcutta and as a vice-chancellor for Andhra University. He was professor of Eastern religions and ethics at University of Oxford in England, and he became also vice-chancellor of Banaras Hindu University in India. From the year 1953 to 1962, he was Chancellor of the University of Delhi. Radhakrishnan led the Indian delegation to United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, and was elected chairman of UNESCO's executive board. From the year 1949 to 1952, he served as Indian ambassador to the Soviet Union. Nowadays, it is called Russia. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan returned to India in the year 1952. He was then elected as vice president, and on May 11, 1962, he was elected as president of India. The next president is Zakir Hussain. Zakir Hussain was the first Muslim to hold the largely ceremonial position of President of India. His fostering of secularism was criticized by some Muslim activists. Zakir Hussain responded to the nationalist leader Mahatma Gandhi's appeal to Indian youth to shun state-supported institutions. He helped found the Muslim National University in Aligarh, and he also served as its vice-chancellor from 1926 to 1948. At Gandhi's invitation, he also became chairman of Indian Committee on Basic Education, established in the year 1937, to design a Gandhian syllabus for school. In the year 1948, Zakir Hussain became Vice-Chancellor of Aligarh Muslim University. In 1956 to 58, he served on the executive board of the UNESCO. He was also appointed governor of Bihar state in the year 1957, and he was also elected as a vice president of India in 1962. The next president is Varahagiri Venkatagiri. Varahagiri Venkatagiri began his education at Khalikote College, Baharampur, and then he went to Dublin to study law. There he became engaged in the Sinn Féin movement and was expelled from Ireland in 1916. He returned to India and he joined the nascent labour movement. He became General Secretary and then the President of All India Railwaymen's Federation and was twice President of All India Trade Union Congress, an organization closely linked with Indian National Congress Party. When the Congress Party formed a government in Madras state in 1937, Giri became Minister of Labour and Industries. He resigned of the Congress governments and the launching of anti-British Quit India movement in 1942. Then he returned to the labour movement again. He was appointed as a High Commissioner in Ceylon. In nowadays it is known as Sri Lanka, and in 1952 he was elected to the Lok Sabha, one of the two chambers of Indian Parliament. He was made Minister of Labour in the Central Indian Government. However, he resigned in 1954. Giri was appointed successively to the largely ceremonial governorships of Uttar Pradesh, Kerala and Mysore. In 1967, he was elected Vice President of India. On the death of President Zakir Hussain in 1969, Giri became acting president and announced his intention to stand for the presidency. The next president is Muhammad Hidayatullah. Muhammad Hidayatullah was enrolled as Advocate of High Court of Central Provinces and Berar at Nagpur on 19th July 1930. On the 2nd August 1943, he became the Advocate General of Central Provinces and Barner and continued to hold the said post and was appointed as Additional Judge of the High Court on 24th June 1946. He was appointed as the Permanent Judge of the said High Court on 13th September 1946. He was also appointed as the Chief Justice of Madhya Pradesh High Court. He also was elected to the Supreme Court and became the Chief Justice of India on 25th February 1968. After his retirement as Chief Justice of India, he was unanimously elected as the Vice President of India as a result of a consensus among different political parties and occupied the high office with distinction from 1979 to 1984. As a Vice President, he presided over the Rajya Sabha and conducted its proceedings with great dexterity and wisdom. During his tenure as Vice President, he again acted as the President in 1982. The next President is Fakhruddin Ali Ahmed. Fakhruddin Ali Ahmed was President of India from 1974 to 1977. The son of an army doctor from Assam, Ahmed was educated in India and studied history at University of Cambridge, graduating in the year 1927. After returning to India, he was elected as Assam's Minister of Finance and Revenue in 1938. He was also responsible for some radical taxation measures. On the outbreak of World War II in 1939, the Indian National Congress Party had a confrontation with British power, and Ahmed was jailed for a year. In the 1946, he was appointed Advocate General of Assam. He returned to Assam politics until Prime Minister Indira Gandhi included him in her first cabinet in January 1966. He held a variety of portfolios ranging from irrigation, power, education, industrial development, and also agriculture. Ahmed became India's 5th president in 1974. The next important acting president is B.D. Jatti. B.D. Jatti was the 5th Vice President and Acting President of India. He served as an acting president for 164 days. B.D. Jatti's political foray began with his election as a humble municipality member. In the year 1945, he became the president of Jamkhandi town municipality. He was also elected as a minister in the princely state of Jamkhandi's government. He was appointed as the chief minister or Diwan of the state of Jamkhandi in 1945. On the 8th of March 1948, Jamkhandi was integrated into the state of Bombay. He returned to his law practices in his hometown of Jamkhandi. Jatti was elected as a member of Bombay Legislative Assembly. Post reorganization, Jatti became a member of the Mysore Legislative Assembly. He served as the chairman of the Land Reform Committee, which was in many ways the precursor of the 1961 Mysore Land Reform Act. The next president is Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy. Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy was an Indian politician who served as the 6th president of India. His beginning of a long political career was with the Indian National Congress Party in the independence movement. He was the first Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, a 2-time Speaker of Lok Sabha, and Union Minister also. He was elected to the Madras Legislative Assembly in the year 1946 as a Congress Party representative. Reddy became the Deputy Chief Minister of Andhra State in 1953 and the first Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh in 1956. He was a Union Cabinet Minister under Prime Ministers Lal Bahadur Shastri and Indira Gandhi from the year 1964 to 1967. And he also held the designation of Lok Sabha Speaker from 1967 to 1969 respectively. He was also elected to the Parliament in 1977 as a candidate of Janata Party. Reddy was unanimously elected Speaker of the 6th Lok Sabha, and 3 months later he was elected unopposed as President of India. As President, Reddy worked with the Prime Ministers ranging from Morarji Desai, Charan Singh, as well as Indira Gandhi ji.
Sir, thank you for your explanations. Dear listeners, it is time to sign out from this episode of the podcast. In the next episode, we will begin our discussion from Gyani Zail Singh. Till then, keep studying and stay connected with StudyIQ. You can listen to StudyIQ Presents the podcast on various audio streaming platforms like Spotify, Hubhopper, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, etc. Links are pinned in the comment section below. Thank you.